Right, listening to that conversation is ANC national spokesperson Mahlengi Bhengu-Motsiri, who joins us now to react to what has just been said. And Ms. Bhengu-Motsiri, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time. Your thoughts on a possible law, and I stress the word here, possible law that could come into effect from the United States, punishing not just the country, but certain leaders of the African National Congress.
Yes, and to complete the thread, actually, to say punishing them for their extremism and for communist ideas, and the narrative goes on and on and on in terms of that Jackson proposed legislation, which, as you correctly point out, has not been adopted as a law of the United States of America, is still before the legislative process. And of course, we're not going to be sitting by the wayside as the African National Congress. We have to do everything that is required to expose untruths and to rally the international community, those that stand on the side of justice, those that stand on the side of peace and friendship, that they are apprised of the real intentions with this piece of legislation. It has got less to do with any type of extremism. If any type of extremism exists in South Africa, is in the form of Solidarity and AfriForum and all the allied interest groups and lobbies that have found home in the United States, despite the clear evidence of their lives being exposed every day, including the so-called white genocide. So we will continue with the work that we've got to do. We will continue using what we've done that enabled us to take the apartheid government down, which is to rally the international community to expose all of these things that are being done against South Africa for punishing the stances that we've taken on the matter of Israel and Palestine, the genocide in Palestine, on the matter of taking these things to the international justice, on our leading role in the BRICS in order to promote multilateralism in the world so that the ideals of justice, equality, and friendship and solidarity can be manifested.
How do you influence the lawmakers in that country, as we are both acknowledging that this is not a law yet, it is still within the legislative frameworks? So how do you influence those lawmakers when the narrative is that our own representative, Mr. Jonas, is not even on the ground in the United States? How do you reverse what may likely be a calamitous legislation?
No, absolutely. There's a lot of work that has got to be done, obviously. Firstly, I think that those that should be measured and calm during a moment such as this one must continue with that work of ensuring that we exercise diplomacy and diplomatic relations on several fronts, some of which I may not be able to mention at this point today. But the ANC has got a lot of friends and allies and supporters who were part of the anti-apartheid movement, to continue to pursue similar causes across the globe. And indeed, we are reaching out to those of our friends internationally, including in the United States, who are still alive. We are going to be doing that with the gravity and I think the energy that it requires. Secondly, it is civil society, progressive civil society, that ultimately can give awareness and conscientization in society about the true intentions of elements within the U.S. Congress, and I would underscore the word elements within the U.S. Congress that wants to present a just struggle against racism and apartheid, and trying to find a comeback for the successes that they've not been able to reverse since 1994, particularly transformation legislation. It's no wonder that there are spirited approaches to the various courts to try and reverse all progressive legislation. Surely, South Africans are very mindful of what it took to get us to where we are. We still have a number of challenges, but many people will say the South Africa that our forefathers inherited is not the South Africa that we know today, certainly from the perspective of equality and the perspective of rights.
Yeah.
So we need to continue to fight. We need to do it responsibly. We need to take others along. The BRICS community of nations has got a very big role to help Africa and the rest of the countries of the global south to pursue this notion of self-reliance and to pursue this nation that promotes multilateralism. Yes.
Very quickly, I know you have another interview lined up. The 1st of August is fast approaching. The tariffs is a very worrying factor and maybe a reality soon. What is the status of Mr. Mcebisi Jonas?
Well, on the matter of Mr. Mcebisi Jonas, it is as reported. But I do want to call out formations such as the DA and now the gentleman that was here from AfriForum and Swansea, presenting and wanting to convey messages, diplomatic messages from abroad, and convey those to the people of South Africa without any substance and without any context. There are a lot of behind-the-scenes engagements with US officials on a variety of matters, including trade matters, including the matter of the tariffs. We have been on record as the ANC to say we urge the government to be seized with these matters in order to avoid non-state actors such as AfriForum to take away the right of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation. This is how a state gets decimated when the people watch on when that happens. We all need to rise and basically stop organizations, extremist right-wing formations, such as the AfriForum and Solidarity, supported by the Freedom Front Plus and the Democratic Alliance, from undermining the sovereignty of South Africa under the cloak of visiting the United States to go and talk about the situation in South Africa, which in principle, there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. But what it becomes wrong is when people are openly canvassing against their own country. And I think that in fullness of time, South Africans will come to their own conclusions by themselves.
Mahlengi Bhengu-Motsiri, thank you very much for your time. But that last comment, very worrying indeed, confirming that the status of Mr. Jonas is as it is reported. I'm quoting her directly now. And that means that Mr. Jonas is not necessarily in the United States because he has been refused entry into that country.